For the past 2 years, it has felt like life has been going backwards. So many things I took for granted have one by one been taken away. And I sit here at my mum's place, at the age of 37, knowing that I'm one of the lucky ones. Not that I want to tempt fate. There's enough complaining in the world today, enough self-pity, so I'll try my best not to join the chorus and regale you with all my terrible personal experiences from the last 2 years. Instead, I'll try to think of the good things, the benefits. I have family, I have friends, I have good health. I've stripped away bad habits and built upon the one practice that has made my life immeasurably better. In fact, I suspect it has even saved my life. When I was a kid, I was a runner. I wasn't fast, but I knew how to silence those quitting voices in my head and just endure. The first ever race I ran was a 400 meters. I was 5 years old and I won. My dad told me to go out slow and finish fast. He guaranteed me that all the other kids would do the exact opposite. I just had to resist the temptation to follow them. Don't run with the crowd. This wasn't that hard for me. On the last turn, I passed all of them and I sprinted to the finish. It was the first race I ever won, but it was also the last. Truth was, all psychological tactics aside, I was just a slow kid. I had terrible running form, and when I tried to run fast, it felt like I was going backwards. Still, I kept at it, till I eventually qualified for the ACT middle distance team. I just got in and it was a big deal. I was going to represent my hometown in races all over the country. The problem, of course, was injuries. I developed a knee problem, in both knees in fact, one which required surgery. After that, I just didn't get back into it. I guess it was hard work and having knee surgery felt like a good excuse to stop running, so I didn't run much. For the next 2 decades, I played guitar, I wrote songs, I started bands, recorded albums, played shows whenever I could. I drank a lot of beer, I took a lot of whatever illicit substance was lying around,
cool.
and I smoked a lot of cigarettes. I never had much money, but I felt reasonably free. I could go busking when I was hungry, I could get paid to do gigs, I could sell CDs. I was pursuing a life I was always wanting to live. I was creative and I often felt like I was just on the cusp of something big. Then 2020 happened. No freedom! And there was fear, there was loneliness, there was quite a lot of sorrow. And for me, and probably for a lot of other people, there was unemployment, extreme financial insecurity, and homelessness. Suddenly I had nowhere to be, no space, no privacy. For reasons I still don't understand, rents doubled, real estate agents became even less reasonable and more pig-headed. Suddenly there's no music, there's no freedom. Share houses, they're basically petri dishes full of COVID and bad politics. And besides, I'm in my late 30s and all my friends have started families and live in their own places. Who am I going to go in a share house with? A bunch of 18-year-olds? So I found myself staying with my mum or sleeping in the car, or going on long meandering hikes with my backpack so I could sleep in the tent and not feel like a homeless bum. Instead, I was a trekker. But it felt like everything had been taken away from me. All hope, the space and the privacy to create music, the economy and the industry from which to fund living in that space. I didn't go busking, I didn't play gigs. I struggled to record albums in between the sounds of toilets flushing, TVs blaring, people arguing and whippersnippers whippersnippering. So, what was there to do? I ran. I started running like I'd never run before. More than when I was a kid, more than that brief excursion in my 20s when I tried to quit smoking and I just ran a little bit. No, now I was running all the time. I ran almost every day, hungover or not hungover, apocalyptically depressed or stupefiedly lazy. I just put some shitty sneakers on and I ran. For the first time ever, I started to get fit. In 2 years of running, I took 5 minutes off my 5K time. I got to the point where I could go for 2 hours and the next day feel fine and do it all over again. But most of all, I started to feel grateful, started to feel calm. All that bitterness, rage, self-defeating misery of feeling like my industry, my passion, my life had been taken away from me, it all just started to dissipate. Instead, there grew a consistent kind of humming optimism. I instinctively began to think about what I had instead of what I didn't. And now on this last day of my pseudo-homeless existence, before I move into a place in Canberra, and I have that long, cherished space and privacy that I haven't had for a long time now, I think about running and how running was a gift that the pandemic gave to me. It sort of replaced everything it took away. It took away my livelihood, destroyed my identity, but it gave me running shoes. Well, I didn't pay for the running shoes, but you know what I'm saying. Running saved my life. And for that I say thank you. Maybe it can save yours. So get your running shoes on. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Be grateful for what you got. Fuck thinking about everything you don't. And go running. Find a trail somewhere. Fuck the drones, snakes, and private property signs. Yours in harmony, Duke the Dirtbag. XXOO, be good.